morning. We are going to continue small and long angles, but in stretch this time. So we're going to work on that today as we work on different ways to stretch the body, and we're going to get into different muscle groups, extending certain parts of our body and flexing it to get the long and short portions of stretch and different angles of stretch. And you will see. We'll put it all together and it'll make sense. But as we have been talking about for the past week, long angles tend to be closer to locked out, and it's a way of making the body go into what's called an efficiency pattern. And these efficiency patterns create all sorts of mechanical problems because we don't use a full range of motion of the joint. The other end of the spectrum is a short angle. It's where we're deeper into the joint. Typically, metabolically, it costs more energy, but so because it costs more energy, we tend to turn things off, especially our core. So we're going to learn how to use things in the short angle with our core on and long angles with our core on. Because between the two, we can do a lot for your body and what your body experiences. So we're going to start out with our block. And we're going to start where we usually are, at least a quarter way in the class. We're going to start with our knee on the block, because we're going to lengthen some of the muscles that extend the body. So we're going to open up your hip flexor and we're going to open up your quad muscles. So what you're going to do is just go side to side first, just to unlock things. You're going to keep your abs on. That keeps your head over the top of your knee, which is all a part of something called the riding reflex or the hunting reflex, where we keep our heads level as our body's moving all over the place as we're chasing breakfast. And we're going to keep our abs nice and tight. Your smiles are up. And you're breathing. Just wiggle side to side. Just open it up. Feel things open up. Keep your abs engaged. No pressure into any joints because we're working time under tension. So we're using muscles. Okay, and then we're just going to stretch forward. You're going to go as deeply as you can, and then we're going to come out of it. Then you're going to stretch back into it. We're going to pump stretches. So keep your abs engaged. Don't let your tummy come out as you go forward. So there's no pressure in your low back. Smiles are up.
What you said about the tummy thing.
Okay. We're going to stay forward as you now take your right hand, grab that left foot. Suck in your tummy. So we're on officially week 3. We finished week 3.
4.
Oh, we're starting week 4 of the cleanse that we're on. I've lost close to 8 pounds. Kaya's lost close to 17 pounds. 16 pounds. Maria's not getting on the scale because she wants to be surprised, but I can definitely tell changes in her. So it's an amazing process to go through doing something like that, where it's a disciplined regimen of what you have to do, and then to get results. Stretch forward deeper, abs are nice and tight, pull your heel to your butt. We're lengthening a group of muscles, the hip flexors that tend to shorten. Okay. And we're lengthening the extensor muscles. So we're working small angle stretch. Okay?
Switch sides.
Switch sides. So we're working small angle stretch of the quad muscle, but we're using long angle stretch of the hip flexors. So we're going to side to side first. Yes, thank you, Miss Maria. Don't raise your eyebrows at me. Smiles are up, abs nice and tight. But then to compound everything, last night Maria and I got an NAD infusion. So we're feeling kind of wired. Suck in your tummies. Keep that head over the top of the block. Okay, and we're going to stretch forward and then come back. You're just going to go back and forth. You're lengthening out these hip flexors. The hip flexors, if they tighten up, your stride shortens up, and then you ride a specific spot on your hip that causes to early hip wearing, which we don't want. Plus, nothing in the human body has a single function, so as you do this, you're pumping out the associated organs and vascular supply and lymphatics. Okay, let's take that Left hand, grab that right foot and pull your heel to your butte. Abs are nice and tight. You're sucking in your tummy. And we're stretching forward as we go deeper. Abs are nice and tight. You're sucking in your tummy. Ooh. Stretch everything open. Abs are engaged. No pressure in your low back or your knee. What number are we on?
10.
Okay. Switch sides. Okay, now you're going to take your right leg across midline. And you'll almost immediately see how little we cross midline when we walk and do functions with our legs. So what we're going to do now is push your hips forward, suck in your tummy, and then you're going to shoot your hips off to the left. Ooh. You can lean into it. You can put your right hand on the roller if you want, and then take your left hand over the top of your head. This will open up the side of your body, especially that tensor fascia lata and glute medius, but you'll also get a little bit of your obliques.
Be sure to keep your pelvic floor engaged, lower abdomen lifted, belly button sucking towards your spine.
She's looking at you guys. I had to just make sure her eyes were looking at you guys and not me. Okay, now you're going to push your hip back just a little bit, just a smidge, and you're going to push your hips over to the right again. This is getting more your glute medius and your glute minimus. Suck in that tummy. These are powerful muscles in your body, and they can do all sorts of crazy things to create what's called unintentional limp, which we don't want. Then you're going to just slide this leg back. Whoops. Oh no. Oh. Okay, there we go. You cross that leg over the top, and you're just going to sit back. Your toes are curled under. We're just going to hold this for a little bit, like 10 seconds. Suck in that tummy. You might feel stretched into your foot, and that is fine.
Abs in.
She's talking to you guys.
10.
Okay, come back out of it. Oh, we're going to switch sides.
Gracefully.
We got to fix this and this. Okay, there we go. You immediately went to cross the leg across the body. Abs are nice and tight. It's just easier if the roller's off to your left side. We're going to push our hips forward. Then they're going to go to the right. Stretch open. Abs are engaged. There should be no pressure in your knee or your hip joint. Should be in muscles. And you can take your arm over top of your head to get a deeper stretch. Keep breathing, keep your abs engaged, suck in that tummy, push those hips over to the right. This is stretching out your tensor fascia lata and portions of your glute medius. Abs are nice and tight.
10.
Okay, then you're going to come back, push your hip back slightly. Same thing, hip goes off to the right. This will get your glute medius, glute minimus. Suck in that tummy. Lean.
10.
Okay, and then we're going to just take it back into a cross-leg position. We're going to do some weird stuff closer to the ground first, then we're going to go back up to standing, which I usually don't do. We usually do up, then to down, and then onto our backs. Abs are nice and tight. Suck in the tummy.
10.
Okay, and then come out of it. We're going to switch legs again. Now we're going to do a little hip circumduction. You're going to just move around on top of the hip. Remember, every athletic motion's hidden in a hip circle, So as you're able to do a hip circle, you can do every motion that the body needs to, but if you feel resistant in any position, say like right there, you can wiggle it till it opens up, because it's getting your athletic balance back, you're getting every motion of the body back, and it doesn't have to be compensated for somewhere else in the body. Suck in that tummy.
10.
Opposite direction. So it's just basically working all the muscles we just stretched in a more functional way. You should feel no pressure in your knees or your low back, or your shoulders for that fact. Ooh, I can really tell it's making a difference. It was hangy-outy there, and I know because I have to edit these videos.
10.
Okay, we're just going to switch sides. Suck in that tummy. Abs are nice and tight. We're going to start out with hip circumduction. Get clean motion. And so what I'm noticing is something interesting. I have the same hitch on this right hip that I had on the left hip in the same angle. So I have to really clean it up because two hips are restricting a motion that has to be compensated up higher, like in my shoulders or my neck, or even my low back. Okay, opposite direction. Smiles are up. Abs.
9. 10.
Okay, from here we're going to come off the blocks momentarily. We're going to just do a minor stretch of the quads. Fine. So you're going to have your blocks. You can't see mine because they're dark. We're going to put them down back behind us. We're going to stretch quads, but we're also going to do ab tightening as we just lean back. Your toes are pointed behind you. You're sucking your tummies in. Fine. After all that fuss, you actually don't need the blocks. Shoulder blades are down and back. Suck in your tummy and then release. Suck in your tummy, release. Remembering that no part of your body has a single function. So as you're doing this, we're pumping the organs. But we're pumping it with the lengthening of your quad muscles and flexion of your knees and elongation of your ankles. What number?
15.
Let's do 20. Okay. Now you're going to point those toes back, or curl them under. Under. You're going to push your heels back. I keep moving this. This is terrible. You're going to push your heels back. So if you feel excessive pressure in your metatarsal head, those are the knuckles of your toes. Push your heels back to get the pressure off of your toes and into your plantar fascia, up into your Achilles tendon, into your calf muscle. Abs are nice and tight. We're going to do the same thing. We're doing our sit-ups. We're going to do 20 of these. You should feel your feet working. You should feel your quads working. The small angles on the toes, small angles on the ankles, small angles on the knees, but long angles in the hips. You can see all the variations and how we have to work on each variation.
20.
Okay.
No OPNs.
OPNs are old people noises. Okay? Let's think what should we do. I wanted to do something first. Okay. We can use our block on this, and we'll need our roller. Your knee goes back on the block. You can use your roller for balance. That's what we'll need it for. we're going to get some of the internal external rotation. So what you're going to do is set this foot in. So you're going to take your left foot in. Then you're going to take your right foot behind it, like this. Well, my block works out really nice that way. Abs are nice and tight. You're sucking your tummy. This is causing external rotation. You can see what Maria just did. She put her second block underneath her right knee. Abs are nice and tight. You're sucking in your tummy. And we're just going to go side to side. This is again stretching out your glute medius. Abs are nice and tight. Woo. So make sure that left leg is crossed in front of the right leg, and you're pushing that knee forward with that right leg as your hips go side to side.
That's 20.
Ooh, okay. Just hang out here for a second. You're going to clench this muscle. I want you to actually try to tighten it out, which is going to further stretch it. Meredith's having a hard morning. Okay, good. We're going to come out of this. We're going to do the other side as gracefully as possible. So you're going to put your right knee on the block. And then you're going to bring that foot as far forward as you can. So that's your right foot comes forward. And then you're going to take that left knee and put it behind your right ankle. Notice if one side is definitely tighter than the other, which can happen, leading to a lot of knee problems. Abs are nice and tight.
Oh, my block is missing. Here we go.
Abs are nice and tight. You're sucking in your tummy. Same thing, hips side to side. You should feel no pressure in any joint. If you do, it means tighten something up, especially your abs. Okay, we're going to come out of this. We're going to come back up for
something else, did we? Yeah.
Oh yeah. We just clenched it.
Yeah.
Clench your hip. Like tighten your butt cheek. Tighten your abs. You're just holding it. Oh. That tightening is also stretching. Just a little longer. And this is all about creating balance side to side, because if you don't have that balance, you have what's called an unintentional limp, which leads to unintentional problems. Okay? Okay, now we're on our feet. Let your blood pressure regulate a little bit. In case you get dizzy, just go back down. If you're not, just stay up. Put the block underneath the ball of your left foot. Now we're stretching long angles on the quad. It's opening up the knee, so there's a big angle on the knee, so it's opening up your gastrocnemius and also your hamstring, but mainly your gastrocnemius. Abs are nice and tight. You're sucking in your tummy, and you're just going to pump your hips forward. Keep your abs engaged, shoulder blades down and back. You're sucking in that tummy. There's no bend in your knees yet.
20.
Okay, take your leg back behind you. You're going to stretch forward. Stretch. Both feet are parallel. Both heels are down on this one. You should feel this more in your booty.
Make sure you keep your pelvic floor, lower abs lifted.
Bring that navel to your spine. It's okay if your hips push slightly over to the left. Then you can reach down with your hand to try to touch the block. That's your left hand to the block. Keep breathing. And then you're going to come back up. Keep the heel down, feet parallel, heels down on both feet as you just arch in the opposite direction. Suck in that tummy. Really arch, 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 arch. See if you feel it anywhere into your shoulder, which you might, because all in the same fascial plane. Plus, it will help your javelin throwing. I actually saw a documentary on javelin throwing and how come no one's going to break the world's record on it, because they added more weight and changed the center of mass of the modern javelin. So the standing record is on the old javelin, because the guy threw it out of the stadium basically. Feet are parallel, knees are over tops of blocks. Abs are nice and tight, you're sucking in your tummy. We're going to start out just by pumping those hips forward. This is opening up that gastrocnemius, maybe a little bit your hamstring, but mainly the gastrocnemius, which is calf muscle. So important for posture. And when it tightens up, it causes your shoulders to roll forward and your head to come forward. So this is why we're working on this. Suck in that tummy.
20.
Then we're going to take that foot back behind you. Both feet are parallel. Both heels are down. Abs are nice and tight. You're just going to lean forward. You can use your roller.
Keep your abs engaged.
Ooh. Suck in your tummy. And if you want, you can reach down with that right hand to touch the block. Keep breathing, keep your abs engaged. And then come back up again. You're going to take that arm up over the top of your head. You're going to arch backwards to work on your javelin throw on this side. Suck in that tummy. Keep breathing.
10.
And then come back into standing, which we're going to look at right now, where we usually start at, but we're going to start here. So yesterday, Mario and I were working with a bunch of clients, and we noticed that yesterday was you're in pain because of your posture day. We saw so many people with this one little artifact in their stance. Their foot turned out. It was actually their right foot that turned out. I got to mirror you guys. The right foot that turned out, and because that right foot turned out, they usually had medial knee pain and they had low back pain because the direction of the force in their body were going in two different directions. So what we're going to start out with is getting the feet parallel, like you're on a set of skis. Then we're going to work on the rest of the posture. It's supposed to be hips width apart. So here's your ASIS. This is your pubic symphysis. Midway in between is hips width apart. Feel what it feels like to have your feet parallel, hips width apart. And then we start assembling the feet as you push down with the first metatarsal head and the corresponding big toe. Outer four toes and corresponding metatarsal heads, but especially that pinky toe. And then finally your heel. 1/3 the weight will go through the balls of your feet. 1/3 the weight will go through your toes. 1/3 the weight through your heels. See what it feels like to stand like this as you bend both knees. Turn your knees out slightly. And then come back up into straight legs as your calves go on, your quads go on. Pelvic floor goes on. That's your first chakra. We're firing that up. Second chakra, your lower abs. We want you to draw that in and really contract and change the contour of your belly. Third chakra, your upper abs are going to close up and draw in. That's your upper abs. You're drawing your shoulder blades down and back, bringing your head over the top of your pelvic floor. Suck in that tummy. Abs are nice and tight. We're just going to do tiny little hip circles. You're using your abs. We're trying to get the biomechanics back into symmetry. Notice if you go to one side more than you go to the other, correct it now. Suck in your tummy. Keep breathing. Jaws relaxed. What number are we on?
19 and 20.
Opposite direction. Notice if one direction was easier than the other. We don't like that. We like symmetry. Keep breathing. Try not to move your head and your shoulders. Good. We're going to do some long angle stretch. I'm just trying to figure out how we're going to do it. You're going to use your roller. If you're not so flexible, we're going to give you variations. You could use your block. Block. If you're more flexible, you could use 2 blocks. 2 blocks. But what we're shooting for is more flexibility because we're going to put your ankle on the roller. Abs are nice and tight, you're sucking in your tummy. But all the angles are great, especially if you can stay in proper long angles now. Your knee's going to be locked out on both legs. Abs are nice and tight. You have to have your balance, so your core is on. This is time under tension. Shoulder blades are down and back. Abs are nice and tight. And what you're going to do is push out and then pull back. Pull that hip into the joint. Push out, pull back. Abs are nice and tight. It's practicing a good front kick. Woo! And this is also working a less than ideal situation where your foot doesn't get to come down and you have to maintain balance.
9, 10.
Okay, all you're going to do is now angle your foot. So now it's parallel to the ground. Instead of perpendicular, same thing, we're going to go in and out. This will open up your adductors. You'll see why we're doing this in a little bit. But this is in case you're like stepping onto a boat and someone didn't tie it down real well while it's against the dock and it starts moving away. You don't have to fall in the water.
Okay.
Okay, good. Switch sides. So you can do the 2 blocks, 1 block, or you can do the roller. Once you're on here, feet are parallel. Let me get in the camera. Abs are nice and tight. You're sucking in your tummy. Your foot's perpendicular to the ground, and we're rocking it.
Abs in.
She's talking to you guys. You can replay it. You'll see that her eyes were looking at you guys and not at me. Okay, and then now we're going to rotate, 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 rotate. In and out. Abs are nice and tight. This will also work your obliques as well as your adductors. Plus, it's just fun. Okay, leg down. You're going to grab your little ball. You have it?
Mm-hmm.
We're going to do some old-fashioned foot rolling. We want the feet parallel. And we're going to roll out the bottom of the foot. We're going to first do it in long angles. That means both legs are locked out. Your abs are nice and tight. You're sucking in your tummy. And you're just rolling. There should be no pain in the bottom of your foot. And any pain you do experience is not because of the ball, but rather how you use your foot during the day. And Mario is never allowed to say that to me other than during this class.
Abs.
Oh, yes. You guys, turn on your abs. But notice how when you feel tension, that's all this time under tension that Maria came up with. When you feel tension in one spot in your body, we tend to turn off another part, whereas what we should do is stabilize, because we're encountering energy. Okay, this is with your legs locked out. That's the long angle. Now we're going to go into short angles. Make sure those feet are parallel, knees are over tops of your feet. You're going to roll more from your hip. Abs are nice and tight. Suck in that tummy. Ooh. Anything that's sore, get it out of there. It shouldn't be there.
Found that squeaky spot.
Yeah. Rap music.
Okay.
Okay. We're going to go back, drop our heel down. We're going to go long angles again as we bend and straighten our right leg, keeping your abs engaged, especially at the bottom here. When your knee is most bent, you want your tummy to hang out. Don't let it hang out.
No hanging out.
Nobody likes a hanging outy abs. But we like curvaceous people because curvaceousness looks good.
10.
Okay, now keeping your feet parallel, bend and straighten your left leg. Make sure that knee goes straight forward, straight back. Don't let it go medial. It will want to do this. We don't want it to do that. We want to go straight forward, straight back, over the top of your foot. Abs are nice and tight. Shoulder blades are down and back. Your smiles are up. And your abs are on. Your right leg stays straight. Okay, we're just going to do a long angle stretch as we do a forward fold in this position. Mari's going to have to help me remember everything.
Keep the tripod of your foot grounded to the mat, lifting the arches of your feet. Pull that energy up through your inner thighs. Lift the pelvic floor. Engage your lower abs, bringing the pubic bone closer to the belly button. Suck the belly button to your spine. Breathe, relax your neck and shoulders. As you deep exhale, see if you can contract your abs even more, bringing the upper body closer to your legs.
From here, we'll come up halfway, your knees bend. Abs are nice and tight. This short angles again. Stick your booty out, your spine should be straight. Shoulder blades are down and back. Abs are nice and tight. And then we're going to shoot up from here. Regulate your blood pressure. If it drops suddenly, go back onto your knees like you were just a second ago. Arch in the opposite direction. Go side to side. Suck in that tummy. Even though you're losing your mamona, they still don't make shirts that cover my belly.
We're going to make an attachment for you.
Yeah.
Little clip-on belly button covers.
Or get some of those huggy baby t-shirts that cover babies' bellies.
10.
Okay, let's switch sides. Starting over again. Start with feet parallel. Feet stay parallel the whole time. We're doing long angles, so you're locking out your knees. Roll out your foot. There should be no pain. If there's pain in the bottom of your foot, it's something that you're doing during the day.
Abs in.
Yes. She was looking at the camera once again, not at to me. We'll replay that later to verify it. So probably the hardest thing in this 2 weeks of the cleanse is habits we formed around bad eating and bad timing of eating.
And flavors.
Yes. We had to recalibrate our flavors. We had to recalibrate what it feels like to be hungry and not hungry, or to be full, which is really interesting, especially if you're used to stuffing yourself. They didn't call it cobesity for a reason. Ooh, look at Maria's shadow. It looks so cool against the wall.
Oh yeah.
Roll it out, anything that's sore. Okay, now we're going to go into a bent knee position. Make sure those knees are over tops of your feet and your feet remain parallel. Notice the tendency to want to turn out as your knees are bent and we lower down. Notice the tendency of your abs to shut off. Don't let them shut off. We're continuing to roll with bent knees. Smiles are up. Oh, I got this creaky spot on the floor now. Try to move from your hips. I know you want to move from your knees. Oh. One of the most interesting things is leaving a meal not completely full. It was hard at first, but after a few days of it, it was really easy. But that's what I think was one of the biggest factors in what we were doing, is learning not to stuff yourself.
It's actually pretty easy if you just cook the right portions, no extras.
No extras. Like, oops, that fell in. How did that fall in? It said 1 scoop of rice. 4 sounds better.
Okay.
Okay, good. Heel drops down. Abs are nice and tight. You're going to bend and straighten your left leg, keeping your right leg straight. This will stretch out that gastrocnemius again. Abs are nice and tight. You're sucking in your tummy. Make sure that knee goes straight forward, straight back. But as I said earlier, back in January, okay, bend and straighten your right leg now. Make sure that knee goes straight forward and straight back and it doesn't go medial. As I said back in January, this right now is springtime. This is a time we're supposed to lose weight. But we're going to use diurnal patterns and seasonal patterns to help you get that weight off. So we're taking advantage of that springtime. We're in more light, we're more physically active, and that's why we increased ranges of motions to change out of the winter range of motions. And what else do we do? Do we do anything?
Forward fold.
Yes, forward fold. That's what I was just about to say. Forward fold.
Grounding that tripod of your foot into the mat, lifting energy from the arches of your feet. Pull that energy up through your inner thighs. Lift the pelvic floor. Engage your lower abs, bringing the pubic bone closer to your belly button. Suck the belly button towards your spine. Breathe. Relax your neck and shoulders. With the next exhale, try to bring the belly button even closer to your spine, using your abs to bring the upper body closer to your legs.
Abs are nice and tight. You're sucking your tummy. We're going to come up halfway first. Your spine is straight, your pelvic floor is on, shoulder blades are down and back. We're just regulating the blood pressure. So make sure you feel the blood pressure in your head. Okay, and then we're going to come back up and just stretch. We could go side to side if you'd like. So it's funny, during COVID, we watched a lot of TV series. And what makes a good TV series is something called drama. And drama happens when you're out of integrity and you don't tell the truth. Like, these shows would be so uninteresting if people told the truth. So it became a really interesting message to us. Okay, come up off the ball.
But try and imagine how many happy endings there would be.
Yes. Keep your feet parallel, and how you would pursue what you should pursue instead of what you have to pursue in order to counter drama. Abs are nice and tight as you once again do a forward fold, which should feel one heck of a lot easier.
Again, keeping that same engagement. Ground the tripod of your feet into the mat, lifting the arches of your feet, pulling that energy through your inner thighs up to your pelvic floor, lifting, engaging your lower abs, bringing the pubic bone closer to your belly button. Suck that belly button towards your spine. Relax your neck and shoulders. As you exhale, suck that belly button even closer to your spine, using the abs to bring the upper body closer to your legs.
Once again, bend your knees. You're going to put your hands on your knees. Gather back up your blood pressure.
Abs in.
Yes. That's what I was just going to say. And then we're going to take our arms over top of our heads as we once again arch. Keep breathing.
Keep that same engagement through your feet, your legs, lifting the pelvic floor. Keep the abs engaged as you extend back.
And good. We're going to head to the ground. Yeah, it was interesting how if people told the truth and told what their actual motivation was, they could have got a lot more solved. And how if they got over what they were trying to hide, they could actually work together sooner and get things solved faster.
Yeah, making requests over manipulation.
Yes. Saying something like, I'm scared, could you help me with this? Is a whole lot faster than manipulating. Okay, we're going to just roll out the shins real quick. We're going to do a few rolls. Roll, roll, roll. Roll, roll, roll. It's so funny, I was working with a client that doesn't take my classes, and she doesn't realize that I teach rolling. So she was going to go to a rolling instructor. I was just like, why? Do you know what I do for a living? Abs are nice and tight. Roll out your shins, causing deeper knee flexion. And then we're going to flip it over onto your thighs as you roll out your thighs. Try it with your knees bent. You can do what Maria's doing and bounce off the wall if you're limited in space. But then you're going to add a twist to get one side more than the other. This will get your vastus lateralis, a quad muscle, and also the iliotibial band. You can take it all the way up to the tensor fasciae lata, which is in the hip. There is an advantage in doing it the way Maria's doing it, even though she's cramped for space, is that it makes sure you bend your knees. Because we're used to using long angles when we feel tension in the legs. This is causing you to do short angles stretch. Okay, whenever you feel ready, you can do the opposite side. But notice how this creates an opening in your shoulder.
Just watch for your partner's feet coming at your head.
Yes. Ooh, there it is. Get it, get it, get it. Ooh, get it, get it, get it. Okay. So we just worked on the short angles of the legs. We're going to do long angles of the spine. So you're going to put the roller behind your back. No, we haven't done this in a long time. But roller goes behind your shoulders. You're just rolling out your spine. You're going to roll out one shoulder by twisting.
Hold your microphone.
Oh, yes. Don't forget the microphone. Roll out. Notice if one shoulder is shorter than the other. Notice if your paraspinals are different. It's okay if you hear snap, crackle, and pops of your ribs rearticulating and vertebrae doing the same. Remember, nothing in the body has a single function, so as you're rolling like this, you're assisting organs in their functioning. Oh. Ooh, I'm getting that NAD drooliness. Oh. This is also rolling out in Eastern medicine, the bladder channel. As you go on to one side, you're going to get small intestine channel. And that will also create that drooling feeling that we were just talking about. Oh. Okay. I'm going to move forward because I'm rolling off. But the roller now goes underneath your sacrum. Your legs are up in the air. Your knees are bent. You can hold on to the roller so it doesn't get away from you. You're just going to check and see if you can bend your knees. Your knees should almost, your heels should almost be to your butt as your knees are bent. And that's the way it should be. You can grab a hold of your ankles to pull your heels to your butt. And it will give you an idea of what we need to work on. So as you keep your heels to your butt, you're going to bring your knees to your chest. This will open up your low back, and then you just bring it back. Just go back and forth. This is opening up your low back because we have to do long and short angles of the low back. Unfortunately, we spend too much time in long angles of the low back, and it jeopardizes the back, especially with unstabilized abs, as Mario was pointing out to you guys in the first half of this class. Not me, but you guys. Okay, grab a hold of the roller again, knees to your chest, and now you can bring your feet to the ground. Straighten your legs out, abs are nice and tight, we're going to hang out here. This is actually a shortening of the lumbar spine because it puts a curve back into the low back, and that's shortening.
Don't let your feet flop out. Keep your abs engaged.
And then once again, bend your knees, your feet go flat to the ground. Pull your knees to your chest as we elongate the spine into flexion. Because this gets rid of the lumbar curve, so it makes the lumbar spine longer. This is why flexion, it tends to be a little bit more dangerous on the spine, especially with twist. And once again, feet come to the ground. You're going to straighten those legs against the ground. And like Mario says, don't let those feet flop out. This time around, you're going to massage your abdominals, or your muscles and your abs and all your internal organs. For those that have had children or know what the heck I'm talking about, you can do sunrise and sunset. Sunrise and sunset is what they would do on little children who are constipated. You massage their intestines and they will poop their brains out. But the weird thing is it also works on humans. And the way that we do it normally is by walking. Real humans. Children are not humans. They're aliens. And then they grow into humans.
Well, dogs would agree with you.
Yes. And one more time, bring your knees to bent, feet flat on the ground. And then bring your knees to your chest. Okay. Feet flat on the ground again. Take the roller out from underneath your butt. We're going to come up. I know you guys want to stay down, but we got a few more things we got to do before we do the stuff on our backs. So we're going to sit back up again.
I think it's a good time to be on our backs.
You can lay it on your back until I get my ball that rolled away. But now you have to come up into kneeling.
How about we watch for a little while?
No watching. It's not a spectator sport. Block goes down, ball goes on top of the block. We're going to work a little bit the pelvic floor, which allows us to access the arms. You're having a seat on top of the ball's midway between your pubic bone and your tailbone. The lovely part of that is it works those pelvic floor muscles. Make sure you're not sitting on your tailbone. Make sure you're not sitting on your pubic bone. We're going to work the pelvic floor by squeezing the ball and simultaneously tightening your abs. Shoulder blades are down and back. Your neck is relaxed. Your neck is not even working. We're going to do long and short angle stuff of the arms. We're going to do the arms dynamically versus in a stretch. We're going to start out by squeezing a credit card between the palms of our hands in the long angle so our arms are straight. Abs are nice and tight. You're sucking your tummy. Keep your abs engaged. Squeeze, squeeze, squeeze that credit card. Don't let someone pull it out from in between your hands. Abs are nice and tight. You're sucking in your tummy. Jaws relax. Shoulder blades down and back. Squeeze, squeeze, squeeze. We're first going to go up and down as you're squeezing. If you're doing this correctly, your shoulders should get tired. If you're not squeezing enough, and squeeze more. Suck in that tummy. Keep those arms straight. At no point do you bend your elbows, because these are long angles. And now we're going to take them into circles. Keep your abs engaged. Suck in that tummy. Squeeze those hands together.
5.
Opposite direction. Squeeze those hands together. Keep your abs engaged. Keep that pelvic floor on. Okay, shake out your arms, because if you really did this, you should be tired, and that's why the weeks that we did do this, your arms got really toned. So we're now going to do short angles. So wait, it's like you're doing a prayer position. You're squeezing, abs are nice and tight. It's like I'm praying at you. Abs are nice and tight, shoulder blades are down and back, you're sucking in your tummy. You're going to keep your elbows bent as you bring it up and down. Squeeze your lats on, squeeze your abs on. Your pec muscles are working, your shoulder stabilizers are stabilizing. Keep squeezing as we now take it into circles. These are little circles, but do rotate your torso. It's all about torso rotation. Stay even over the top of the ball and your pelvic floor. Abs are nice and tight. You're sucking in.
5.
Opposite direction. There's a martial arts, and all the blocking is like this. And it's kind of strangely effective.
5.
Okay, shake out those arms. Okay, long angles again. You're going to interlock your fingers. You're going to try to rip your arms apart, but your hands are restricting it. Your shoulder blades go down and back. Abs are nice and tight. Your pecs go on. And here we go. We are going to bring our arms up and down. Abs are nice and tight. You're sucking in your tummy. Your elbows do not bend. This is long angles. You can figure out very quickly what's your favorite long or short angles with the upper body. Keep your abs engaged. And then circle away. This will help you with your golf swing to move from your torso versus from your arms. If you play from your arms, you'll play lousy golf.
5.
Opposite direction. Okay, shake it out. Okay, now we're going to do short angles. You're going to bring it in close. Abs are nice and tight. Shoulder blades are down back. Chest is up. Abs are nice and tight. Rip apart your hands as you go up and down. Your elbows don't straighten now. We're doing short angles. You should feel this in your shoulders and in your back if you're doing this correctly. Abs are engaged. And now we break it into circles, little circles. You're moving from your torsos, not from your arms. Keep ripping your arms apart. Keep breathing.
5.
Opposite direction. Smiles are up. Okay, shake out those arms. We're actually going to do this behind us. Mario's giving me a look. You're going to try to squeeze your hands together back behind you with your arms straight. It's actually kind of hard. We're not going to do as much as we did on the front side because it's just not as strong. Because we're not used to doing work behind us. Squeeze the palms of your hands together. Abs are nice and tight. You're just going to bring your arms up and down as much as you can do it. Try to roll your shoulders back, heads over top of your body as you just do small motions. Wolfie's asleep in her honeycomb. She's pressing her face against the wall.
10.
Okay, little tiny circles, but I want you to mainly get this from your torso. It's like you're doing a worm impression.
Opposite direction.
Yep.
Okay.
Okay, shake out those arms. We're going to do a quick short angle one. You're going to put your hands back behind you. You're going to bend your arms. So it's closer to your back. Keep your chest up, head up. And on this one, you're just moving it away from your spine. Abs are nice and tight.
10.
Okay, that's good enough. Shake out your arms. Okay, interlock your fingers behind your back in a long angle so your arms are straight. Suck in your tummy. Just lift and lower your hands away from your booty without bending your elbows. Chest up, abs nice and tight, shoulder blades down and back, chin tucked in, suck in your tummy.
10.
And then do your little shoulder or torso rotations. Don't even worry about the shoulders as much as getting your torso in motion. There's a guy I love a lot. He's both a motivational speaker in the opposite direction and comedian, and he has no arms or legs. But he plays soccer and he can run probably as fast as you can.
10.
Okay, shake those arms out. Last time, we're going to grab those fingers back behind you. You're going to bend your elbows, chest up, and we're just going to do torso rotations on this one. Suck in your tummy. Yeah, you can swim faster than you and run faster than you because his motion is all core connected.
5.
Okay, good. So hopefully we got all of the pelvic floor. We're going to do one last thing on the pelvic floor just because it's fun. You're going to put both feet flat on the ground. Chest is out. We'll do a few sit-ups here. You just suck in your tummy and then relax. Suck it in and then relax. Smiles are up. Okay, then hands going to stick them up. Now for everyone's favorite, you're going to bounce like you're a very happy baby. You can do what Mario does and move your shoulders around because it's just fun. And if you're ever sad or depressed, just go to the section and speed this portion up because it looks really fun. How can you be sad seeing two people bounce on their butts with their arms in the air? Okay, good. We're going to do one more thing here. We're just going to do a simple cross leg. You're going to cross one leg down. You're going to cross the other leg on top. Abs are nice and tight. Stay on top of your pelvic floor. Don't go to your tailbone. Abs are nice and tight. You're sucking in your tummy. Shoulder blades are down and back. We're just going to hold this for a little bit. That's opening up your hips. And then we're going to reverse it. You're just going to put this side down and then this side on top. If you roll off, that's fine. It's not embarrassing. It's practice. Someone just in our backyard.
Sounded like it.
Yeah. let the games begin. Come off the ball, come off the block. You're going to need your roller. So some of the strongest muscles are your thigh muscles. We're going to open those out. You're sitting on the very front of the roller, very tip of the roller. You're going to bend your right leg, put it on the foot on the ground. And this is all about only as far as you can go, feeling safe. You got to keep your abs engaged. Don't let any work go into your low back as you lean back. You're stretching. However far you can go. If this is as far as you can go, that's good enough. And as soon as you hit your maximum, you're going to cross your leg over the top of your right leg over your left knee. Because we're opening up the quad muscle, and we're going to sit with this for a little bit. So wherever you feel safe, stop and just hang out here and breathe. You should not feel this in any joints. You should not feel this in your back. You should not feel this in your knee or your shoulders or your neck. If you do, it means you need to tighten something up. And the best place to tighten up is always your core. Lengthen that quad muscle. Abs are nice and tight. Suck in that tummy. Keep breathing. Just feel the lengthening of your hip flexor and your leg extensor or knee extensor. From sitting, we shorten this all day long, and then we wonder why we can't stand up straight.
20.
Okay. Roll to your right. Straighten that leg out. And you can sit back up again, and we're going to start on the other side. Okay? Your right leg is going to go back behind you. If your foot suddenly cramps, it's because you've suddenly figured out how to use only your foot and don't use your foot. And we're trying to keep it in muscles, big muscles and not little muscles, and we're trying to keep it out of joints. We're bending our right knee. Our left foot is flat on the ground, knees bent. Once again, go back as far as it feels safe. If it's only here, that's fine. Whatever you hit as your maximum, cross your ankle over the top of your knee at that height and just hang out there. Feel the lengthening. Feel what it feels like to have your heel touch your butt. Feel what it feels like to have your abs on. You should feel no pain or pressure in your knees, low back, neck, or shoulders. Keep breathing. Jaws relaxed, abs are on. Use the right part of your body. Okay, what are we on and count?
16.
Oh, okay. Oh, here comes the lawnmower.
That's 20.
Okay, go ahead, put both feet flat on the ground. We may be out of luck in time. Put your heads on the roller, butts on the roller, feet are parallel, knees are bent, knees are over tops of feet. Shoulder blades are down and back. We want you to breathe. Inhale, then exhale. See what it feels like to breathe. See what it feels like after everything your body's been through in long angles and short angles. How it created balance in your body. How it created breath. Gently, ever so gently. Continue to breathe and soften. Stabilize, this is a contradiction. Stabilize your core, which sounds like a hardening event, but soften everywhere else. And breathe. Visualize that breath coming into your body, expanding and going to every cell in your body. And then exhale, excreting out anything that you don't need. I'm coming off the roller, but you stay on top of your rollers. because I'm going to bring you guys home. It is certainly a crazy time right now. And many things are going on in a very strange way. And it's important to be able to find balance within your body, centering, and breath. Because before very long, everyone's going to be faced with unusual decisions. And you'll want to make sure the decisions you make are from your center and from balance. Because like we talked about earlier, dramas are from hiding what you're feeling, manipulation, and dishonesty. And so as we're faced with that in our world right now, it's time to come back into integrity, expression of feelings, and centering. Because from centering, balance, honesty, and integrity, you will live an extraordinary life. From any other place, you will find distortion, you will find unintentional injuries, you will find imbalance, and you will feel such a departure from integrity. So just bring all of it back. It's not something happening to you, it's something that you do. So on behalf of Maria and me, thank you for being here. Thank you for being willing and open. Thank you for being willing to try all this crazy stuff. Thank you for being supportive. We appreciate you so much. And namaste.